If the thought of being grateful for your finances makes you roll your eyes and mutter, sure, I'll be grateful when I have $1 million, then stick with me. Because unless you're living in a tent and pushing a shopping cart all day long, you probably have more to be grateful for than you think. And replacing guilt with gratitude is one of the fastest ways to start improving your ADHD money mindset. Hi, I'm Christine Dunning, Master Certified Life Coach, the owner of Two Cats Coaching, and the host of this, A Solo Person's Guide to ADHD, a podcast and videocast that helps single adults with ADHD tackle life's tricky spots. This month's theme, money, money, money. And while it might make the world go round, it can also send us into a shame spiral faster than you can say, late fee. A quick reminder, I am not a financial professional, just a human with ADHD, years of trial and error experience, and a bunch of hard-won lessons. Everyone's ADHD money story is different. So please, take what works for you and leave the rest. I won't take it personally. So if you listened to yesterday's episode on tracking expenses and thought, I can't do that yet, start here instead. Because sometimes the mindset needs to come before the math. ADHD can make money management tricky because of impulsivity, executive function challenges, that out of sight, out of mind spending, avoidance of bills or account reviews, and feeling left behind financially. And if you've never experienced any of those, wow, gold star for you. I have done all of them multiple times. So our two big obstacles here are first, your attitude towards money, and then shame over how you've handled money in the past. That shame, it's powerful. It short-circuits decision-making, makes planning harder, and causes avoidance. Avoiding money problems just creates bigger money problems, which brings more shame. Professor and author Brené Brown, by the way, if you haven't read or watched her, highly recommend it. I'll put some links below. She has written and spoken extensively on shame. She says, and I quote, "I define shame as the intensely painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. Something we've experienced, done, or failed to do makes us unworthy of connection." So let's reframe that. Your struggles with money are about skills and systems. It is not about your intrinsic worth. You are not a bad person because you've struggled with money. Skills can be learned, systems can be built, and yes, I mean you. You can do it. So, what are some of the money lies that people with ADHD tend to believe? The first one's a simple, well, I'm just bad with money. And here's the deal. No, you may not have learned those skills yet, or the skills you were taught didn't stick. But again, it's a skill set, not an intrinsic sense. Another one is, I can't stick to a budget. Understood. Standard budgets don't work for everyone, especially for those of us with these weird ADHD minds. There are alternatives. I don't make enough money to pay my bills, much less save. Sometimes that's rough, isn't it? Sometimes it's about cutting expenses. Sometimes it's about finding extra income. I'm spending a whole month on this. I promise you I'm going to talk about both. Another one is, I didn't get the money gene. Well, skills aren't genetic. If my parents taught me anything, it's that money habits can be learned. Because they were both actually fairly decent with money, and it's taken me much longer to figure it out for myself. It's not their fault. And last, people with ADHD are just bad at money and investing. Oh, really? So now it's not just about you, it's an assumption you're making for all of us? But you're right that many of us believe this. But learning in small steps, and again, skills, I'm going to keep coming back to that word. That's how we get out of this. Why does gratitude help? Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, even if we're living paycheck to paycheck. And remember, that paycheck to paycheck thing, it's not an ADHD problem. As I said in episode 5, 50% of Americans are in the same boat. Try this reframing. Instead of saying, I need to pay the electric bill, say, thank you, electric company, for keeping my lights on. Or instead of, oh, rent is so expensive, say, thank you, landlord, for giving me a safe place to live. Instead of, oh, my phone bill is ridiculous, say, thank you, phone company, for keeping me connected and putting a tiny computer in my pocket. I know all these sound weird at first, but stick with it. It will genuinely change the way you feel. So I'm sure some of you are leaning back at this point and saying, what is this woo-woo crap? I know it sounds a little bit like, if I make a wish, it'll come true. So, okay, I wish I had $1 million. No? Universe? Anybody? But I promise you, this isn't actually New Age thinking. It's science. Practicing gratitude leads to a release of serotonin and dopamine, the chemicals in the brain that are associated with happiness and pleasure. And you know, ADHD brains, we suffer from a lack of dopamine. So anything that causes us to get those dopamine fixes is really especially great for us. Acknowledging gratitude decreases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, otherwise known as epinephrine. The short-term result is a reduction in anxiety and an improvement in mood. It can boost resilience and the ability to cope with adversity because you're more likely to see the quote-unquote silver lining. It can even improve your sleep, enhance immune function, and strengthen your relationships. I mean, who doesn't want to hang around someone who's positive most of the time? Now, does this mean you'll get everything you wish for? Like that $1 million? Of course not. Practicing gratitude is not about toxic positivity. I always think about that quote from Candide, best of all possible worlds. It's not that. But it is looking for things that help us move forward instead of constantly staying stuck in the past. It's really funny. As I was writing this episode, I saw an interview with Hoda Kotb of NBC News. And she was saying that she keeps a running list in her phone notes. And she calls it, Good Things Keep Happening to Me. As she's driving, as she's dealing with difficult situations, she thinks of anything, small or large, that is good in her life. In the long term, regularly practicing gratitude may also lead to better pathways in your brain. And it actually primes you to be more grateful going forward. Let's look at some possible ways to switch this wiring. Replace the I'm bad with money with I'm improving my money skills. Replace I'll never make enough with I'm finding ways to balance income and expenses. Replace other people are good with money, not me, with I'm building better money habits. Write them down. Say them out loud. Stick them to your bathroom mirror or your computer or even on the dash of your car. Your brain actually does listen to your mouth. Another thing is to perhaps just create a personal money mantra. Pick something you believe, but that feels empowering. I'm learning how to make my money work for me. Or, I am in control of my financial story. Or try, every day I make progress with my money. Now remember, this needs to be something that you actually believe. Saying the words without believing them, might help, but probably not as much. So, a little bit of an action plan. Try a few things. Maybe even just once a week. Thank a company or a service provider out loud or in writing. Whether that's your landlord, the grocery store clerk, your internet provider, even your gas tank. Even your gas tank. Write down 2 or 3 hopeful money statements and repeat them daily. And when negative money thoughts do pop up, remember, that's how we handled money in the past. Create new thoughts for your financial future. Create new thoughts for your financial future. A final reminder that your financial story isn't over. It's just time for a rewrite. You are not your ADHD diagnosis, and you are not bad with money. Money skills are skills you can learn. So I hope you'll share your personal money mantras with me. I'd love to hear them. You can send them to me via my website or on social media. I'm going to link all these things below. And do check out my website. I'm going to put together a quick freebie journal prompt for you, just a 1-pager. Thanks for joining me on A Solo Person's Guide to ADHD. I'm Christine Dunning, again with Two Cats Coaching. You've spotted your habits, tracked your spending, and started shifting your mindset. Tomorrow, in episode 8, we're going to jump into income and investing. Please don't forget to rate and review and subscribe. And please do share this with your other neurodivergent or even neurotypical friends. We're all in community together. The original music you're hearing is by me too. I'll see you next time.